Get out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Be uncomfortable. Ito yung mga bagay na naririnig natin kapag success yung pinag-uusapan. Pero alam naman natin na hindi ganun kadali. Ngayong araw kasama natin si Mary, isang Pinay na lumabas sa kanyang comfort zone para malaman kung anong buhay nga ba ang nag-aantay sa kanya sa ibang bansa. Samahan niyo ako at pakinggan natin ang kanyang kwento.
Hello.
Hello! Thank you for being here and thank you for volunteering to be episode 1 pilot episode ng Pinoy Expat.
Well, actually, it's really nice to be here and of course, support all the way.
But before anything else, introduce mo muna yung sarili mo sa mga viewers natin, yung background mo sa Pilipinas, and yung ano yung trabaho mo dito ngayon. Just to give them an idea.
Okay. So, I am a registered nurse here in Australia. Back in the Philippines, I studied nursing, passed the board exam, but unfortunately, I was not able to land a nursing job there. So, I worked in my uncle's pharmacy for 6 years.
Okay, so describe to us what your life was like prior to migrating here in Australia.
So, before ako napunta dito, so I was unemployed for like February, March, April, for like 9 months. So, as I said earlier, I was working in a pharmacy sa company ng tito ko and then decided na mag-resign. Tapos, so, wala akong work. So, tambay ako while waiting for my visa here in Australia.
So from the time na nakapasa ka ng board hanggang dun sa nag-decide ka nag-migrate, gaano katagal yun? How many years was that?
So, actually, when we're still studying, nasa isip na yan, parang nasa plano na yan to go abroad. Kasi, yun naman talaga reason kung bakit nag-nursing. Well, actually, yun yung pinaka-reason. Kasi, ang sinasabi is, para maka-abroad ka, kailangan nurse ka. Mas madali kasi mag-abroad kung nurse ka eh. So, from the get-go, meron ng desire to go abroad. But, nung nakapasa, ganyan, it wasn't that easy pala. So, yung talagang firm decision ko to go abroad, nung nag-resign na ako dun sa pharmacy job ko, which was 6 years after getting my license.
So let me get this straight. From the time na nag-graduate ka and then nakapasa ka ng board exam, hanggang sa nag-decide ka na mag-migrate, it was 6 years. And during that time na 6 years, nagtatrabaho ka sa pharmacy ng uncle mo.
Yes.
Why wait that long na 6 years na saka ka nag-decide? Bakit hindi ka nag-decide like maybe 3 years after or 2 years on?
Yeah. Well, kasi I was really in my safe zone, comfort zone. Like imagine, sumasahod ako ng, sabi mo na hindi siya ganun kataas and hindi rin naman siya ganun kababa. Average lang. But yung office na pinapasukan ko is just a house away from my house. So, pasok ako ng like 8 a.m. ang start ng work ko. Labas ako ng bahay ng 7:50. 10 minutes to 8. Tapos, sa trabaho, meron kaming merienda, meron kaming lunch, tapos may morning snacks, may afternoon snacks, may
Ang daming
may
snacks.
lunch. So, parang lahat is nandun na. And then, pagpatak ng 5 o'clock, okay, bye-bye tita, bye-bye tito, uwi na ako.
Which was like only 5 minutes walk.
Yeah.
Right.
Or not even. Because literally, just a house. Like, bahay namin, isang bahay, and then bahay nila. So, doon ako nag-work. So, parang, yung comfort, nandun na lahat. Unlike kasi nung sa nursing, mag-volunteer ka muna, wala namang sahod. Eh dito, ang ganda-ganda ng buhay ko.
So you had the desire na mag-abroad, pero given na napaka-comfortable yung buhay mo back then, what's the point? Parang ganun?
Yeah, kasi wala naman akong kilala abroad. 'Di ba? Parang, well, actually meron. Pero like yung kamag-anak, like very close na kamag-anak na nasa abroad na pwede ko sabihin, hey, pwede ba ako dyan makitulog? Pwede akong makatira? Pwede mo ba akong tulungan? Walang ganun. So, parang yung fact na it's a new environment, makikisama ka na naman, lahat ng applications, documents, interviews, ito, may pera na agad Tapos, very easy life. So, parang, bakit ko pa iwanan to?
Right. Okay. And that's true. Parang, ang sarap na ng buhay ko dito. Bakit ako aalis?
Tapos parang biglang, may family lakad. Tito, hindi ako makakapasok ha kasi birthday ni ganito or alis kami, punta kami sa ganyan. Diba? So easy.
Now, what was the reason na nag-resign ka? Was it because nandun na yung desire talaga to go abroad or was it because of something else?
It was because of something else. It was like a personal falling apart sa amin ng uncle ko. Siyempre, kung meron ng ganun na gap, mahirap na mag-work together. So, nung nangyari yun, parang, okay, sige, mag-resign na lang po ako. So, yeah.
Right.
No.
Okay. And then at that time, nung pag-resign mo, naisip mo na, sige, mag-abroad na lang ako.
Yeah. Kasi I felt like, parang wala nang mangyayari sa akin dito sa Philippines. Parang I don't have a future here anymore. Although I have a partner nung time na yon, tapos naglulok na ng bahay and everything. Sabi ko, paano ko ma-achieve yung goals na yun? Kung wala akong trabaho, mahirapan ako makapasok ng work, and hindi naman ako exposed sa Manila, kung saan mas maraming trabaho. So, parang sabi ko, mag-abroad na lang ako. Parang mas madaling makaipon, mas madaling kumita ng pera. So, feeling ko mas may opportunity for me dito sa Australia compared kung magstay ako sa Philippines.
So you decided to leave your comfort zone behind in exchange for an, uncertain future. How did that make you feel?
Actually, it made me feel excited. Kasi parang gusto kong mapatunayan na, okay, iniwanan ko tong trabaho na, syempre everyone saying na dali-dali na ang trabaho mo, ang ayos-ayos na nga ng buhay mo. So excited ako na parang mapatunayan, not only to them, but to myself as well na meron pang mas better for me. Parang ganun. Syempre, hindi mawawala yun yung worries and fears, mga ganyan, pero mas nangingibabaw for me yung excitement na yes, bago, something new, na yun nga, kaya kong patunayan sa sarili ko and to others na there's something so much better pa for me.
And would you say this was something that kept you going all throughout the years?
Actually, what kept me going was yung fact na wala akong babalikan sa Pilipinas.
Right.
Kasi kung mag-fail ako dito, paano na? So, parang dapat ibigay ko lahat. Like, try, bangon ng bangon. Like, kasi kung susuko ako dito, saan na ako pupulutin? Kasi ang nasa isip ko talaga is, there's nothing for me back in the Philippines.
So wala kang ibang choice but to really succeed?
Yeah, no other choice but to give everything I have.
Now, why Australia? Why not UK or Canada or the US or somewhere in the Middle East?
Probably because yung best friend ko na maituturing is nandito sa Australia. And siya kasi, talagang ka-profession ko siya. So, syempre, kung ano yung pinagdaanan niya, almost same ng pagdadaanan ko kasi yung mga credentials niya is not exactly the same with mine, pero meron siyang PRC license, meron din ako, yung mga ganun.
So
parang,
similar lang.
Oo, almost similar. So, siya yung madali kong matanungan. So, paano ba yung process dyan? Ano bang kailangan ko? Yung mga ganun. So, it's a lot easier na meron kang mapagtanungan.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel when you finally left Philippines? Did you have, any fears during the day na nasa airport ka na or di kaya nasa aeroplano? How was it like on the exact day na, ayan na, eto na, paalis na ako?
Okay. So, ang flight kasi ng Manila to Philippines via Cebu Pacific is almost or midnight na. So, I have like plenty of time during the day. So, during the day, kami, take ng family photos, ganyan, say their goodbyes, and then, mag-eat out, dinner with like the family bago nga umalis, ganyan. During that time, parang hindi ko pa naman nafe-feel na ma-homesick, ganyan. Ang nafe-feel ko more on sa mga dogs ko na maiiwanan ko sila, ganyan. Sino pa bang, like, meron bang sa kanilang magbabantay, may magtatabi ba sa kanila sa bed? Sila yung nasa isip ko during that time. Yeah, and because I was in a relationship that time too, so maiwanan ko yung partner ko. So, nasa isip ko din siya, like, gaano kami katagal na magkakalayo or how will the communication be. Yun yung pinaka-worry ko.
Okay.
Sa family kasi, parang madali lang naman na, like, communication. It's easier with the social media. And, yeah, during the day talaga, yun lang yung pinaka-worries and fear ko. Pero, Other than that, yeah, wala. But, yung plane nandito na, nakikita ko na yung Sydney, yun na, nagsisink in na ito na, this is real. Andito na talaga ako sa Australia, mag-start na talaga ako ng bagong chapter ng buhay ko, mag-isa na lang talaga ako, yung mga, yun. Diyan na nag-start yung fear. Like, yun na, nung nakita ko na talaga yung Sydney from above.
So ngayon, nandito ka na sa Sydney, nakarating ka na, you are on a student visa. What was your first day like? What was your first week, your first month, your first year like?
So, after na sa aeroplano ng drama-drama ko, nung nakalapag na, medyo, na ako, worried na, paano ko makakontak yung magsundo sa akin? So, that was the first hour, I think. And then, that first day, very, kasi, meron akong classmate nung college na nag-offer ng help nila. Napatuloyin ako sa place nila. And yun nga, tulungan ako how to go around dito sa Sydney. So, I was very lucky na ando sila. They're very accommodating. So, nung first day, more on excitement. Like, video call with the parental, sa mga lola. Like, look, nandito na ako sa Sydney. Tingnan mo ang bago nito. Ang ganda na ganito. Ganyan. So, it's mostly excitement. Nung mga first week na parang sabi ko, okay, kailangan na ng work. Kasi, syempre, may tuition fees na babayaran. Although, wala akong binabayaran na rent pa during that time kasi they were very generous. Pinag-stay nila ako without paying rent for first month ko sa kanila. There's still like mga gastusin na kailangan kong isipin. Mga grocery, yun nga, tuition ko, yung OPAL, yung transportation. So, during the first week, isip na agad ako ng anong pagkakakitaan. So, yan na yung anxiety. Pero lucky na, syempre, yung tinutuluyan ko, meron na siyang network. So, meron na siyang mga pinakilala na dito, pwede kang pumasok, matulungan ka niya for work, ganyan. So, I'm lucky na second week ko dito, meron na akong work. Yung mga few months, medyo mahirap. Like, alam mo naman, nakwento ko kanina na hindi tayo sanay sa mga physical na trabaho kasi puro office work. Tapos, ang commute ko is 5 minutes to 2-3 minutes walk, 2 to 5 minute walk, ganyan. Super lapit lang. Tapos dito, you have to travel going to work. Tapos, ang first na trabaho ko is cleaning job. Super kuskus and kitchen hands. So, yun. Medyo struggle, but what I usually do is mag-call or mag-message sa back home para sa support.
So it was more, I would say, physically than mentally and emotionally exhausting for you.
Yeah, more on physical talaga. Kasi nga, hindi tayo sanay sa bakbakan.
Pero hindi ka naman na homesick or ano yung mga culture shock moments mo. And especially with regards to like, I don't know, missing your family or your dogs back home. And yung thought na, shit, pinagpalit ko yung comfort zone ko, pinagpalit ko yung masarap na buhay for this. And like you said, physical na trabaho, kuskus, gising ng maaga, travel.
Yeah. It's more on physical nga talaga. Sa homesickness, not much. More on sa dogs. Kasi, hindi kami like, paano ko ba sabihin?
Close-knit.
Hindi kami very close-knit na family. Like, we get to eat together sometimes, ganyan. Pero yung super usap, hindi. Tapos, hindi rin kami ma-hug or ganyan. Hindi. Pero yung mga dogs ko kasi, syempre, sila yung panggigigilan mo, sila yung lagi mong kayakap, sila yung katabi mo matulog. So, parang sila yung mas na-miss ko.
During those first year na talagang struggle is real para sa'yo, na physical yung trabaho, mga bagay na super way out of your comfort zone, did you have any regrets of coming here, of doing all of those things?
Pumasok siya sa utak ko nung first day ko sa, like, training ko during the kitchen hand. Grabe, sobrang sama ng loob ko that day. Kasi, training siya, hindi nila ako binayaran. And it's supposed to be like 6 to 6 to 2 o'clock, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, yeah. 6 to 2 o'clock na training, na unpaid. Pero what happened that day, busy sila sa kitchen, so they made me stay until 5 o'clock without any breaks. Like, yeah, super sama ng loob ko noon. So pagkatapos ko talaga ng work, like, ba't pa kasi ako nandito? Ba't pa kasi pinili ko yung ganito, yung naano ko. Like, hi. Tapos, tawag ako sa best friend ko na yung friend ko dyan sa Melbourne. Tinawagan ko siya na, yun nga, ang sama-sama ng pakiramdam ko. Siyempre, bugbog ang katawan mo, buhat ka ng mabibigat. Tapos, like, lakad ng lakad, buong araw nakatayo, no breaks at all, walang upo. So yun, parang naglabas ako ng ano ko sa friend ko na gano'n, na ba't pa kasi ako nandito. Pero syempre, yung main motivation ko na kung hindi ko man to i-push, what then? What's next for me? So, wala, kailangan mo lang talagang i-suck it all up and then continue to live. Inom lang ng Biogesic. Biogesic pa ang ko nun kasi yun yung baon ko from the Philippines. So, sige lang, inom ng Biogesic, ganyan. Tapos tomorrow ulit.
So, uwi ng bahay, matutulog, hinga ng malalim.
Oo, pakainin mo naman ako. Kumain naman ako.
Okay. So, uwi ng bahay, kakain, hinga ng malalim, matutulog. Bukas ulit.
Oo.
And it was like that for how long?
How long ba, ha? I think, nagkaroon din naman ako ng better na jobs. Tsaka, nasanay din yung katawan ko na sa ganun na physical na work. So, siguro, for, I would say, few months na ganun na minsan magbalik na may regret, ganito. Pero, after that, wala na. Like, push through na.
So, it was just during those initial months na talagang struggle is real, but once you surpass that, okay na.
Okay na. Maka-adjust ka na talaga. Yung body mo, hanap-hanapin pa yan.
Okay. And during this time, meron ka bang kaibigan or family who like, kumaga, naging company mo talaga during those first months?
During the first few months, kasi meron ako nakasabay dun sa agency na nag-help sa akin to come here. Meron silang another student na dadalhin dito na sobrang swerte, sabay kami ng flight. And super, super swerte, kakilala niya, yung kakilala niya dito is kakilala nung kakilala ko dito.
Oh, okay.
And then we're just on the same compound. So parang pag may pinagdadaanan, almost same kami kasi student din siya. So pag may pinagdadaanan, uy, kumain ka na ba? Kita kami sa labas. Kasi as in, nasa isang compound lang kami, different buildings lang. Tapos yun, siya yung mas naanuhan ko. Kasi like, pareho kami ng situation. So madaling magkwento sa kanya.
Right. And that made it a little bit better.
Yeah, it made it a whole lot better.
Did you have any help from your family before you came here? I mean, during the preparation phase and at the same time, yung while nandito ka na, maybe during your first or second year, while nandito ka na, did you have any help from them?
Yeah, definitely. Unang-una yung financial kasi nga, as I told you, tambay ako for 9 months bago ako nagpunta dito. So, hindi naman ako marunong humawak ng pera before. So, wala akong masyadong ipon nung mga time na yun. May konti, pero just enough lang to get by. So, number 1, financial help. Second is nung nag-aaral ako ng PTE, I've been speaking to everyone in the house in English so I can practice. Yeah, so yun, financial tsaka yung while I'm studying sa And yung uncle ko na nagpahiram ng mga documents kasi sa Philippines, naman pag maliit na business ka lang, parang kulang-kulang yung mga documentation mo, yung mga ITR, yung mga ganito-ganyan. But yung uncle ko, he offered na siya ang mag-provide ng financial support, financial documentation para ma-approve yung visa ko. So, thank you. Thank you. Yan. Nung nandito na ako, yes, yung through communication with them, syempre nakakatulong din, nakaka-boost din na na may nagkakamusta sa'yo, someone's still looking after you, someone's praying for you, and yeah, financial support. Actually, nung natapos ko yung certificate ko and diploma, diba sabi ko, mapapag-ipunan ko na yung tuition fee ko for bachelor's, but that didn't happen. So, hindi naging enough. Maraming nangyari sa buhay ko na yung pera na hawak ko is nagastos ko sa iba and hindi ko siya na-save. It wasn't enough for my tuition fee. So, nanghiram ulit ako ng pera sa kanila. And then, yung older sister ko, she actually went here kahit hindi naman niya gusto. But just to help me do sa tuition fee ko. So, what happened then was, siya ang nagbabayad ng rent namin. Tapos, yung pang-rent ko, I'm keeping it for my tuition fee. Yun, I was able to get by. We were able to get by.
So that's a really good thing na kahit na malayo ka man, your family still was, helping you financially and emotional support
Oo.
all throughout your first years here in Australia. Comparing the Mary now and the Mary 10 years ago, what's the biggest difference?
The Mary before was very happy in her comfort zone. Meron akong friend na, alam mo tawag niya sa akin, prinsesang nasa tasa. Kasi, alam mo yung, is it a toy or somewhere na, is it a movie or something? Like, yung prinsesa sa tasa is, ikot lang siya ng ikot, dun lang sa sa space niya. Yun yung sabi ng friend ko sa akin na, you're like that. Dun ka lang lagi sa comfort mo. So, paano ka mag-grow as a person? Nandun ka lang lagi. So, that's the Mary before. Yung Mary ngayon is, like, kahit ano i-throw mo sa akin, I'll accept that. And then, I'll push through that and learn from it.
Nung sinabi sa'yo ng friend mo back then na you're like a princess in a teacup, what was going through your mind at the time na sinabi sa'yo yun? Ay, hindi totoo yan, or was it like that?
It was like, okay lang, at least prinsesa.
Okay, Disney princess yan.
No, kasi, like, yun nga, very comfortable na life. Hindi ako nag-share sa grocery or duay. But, parang, everything is just given to me. Tapos, may sarili akong pera pang gastos. So, feeling ko I'm free that time. So, I'm happy where I was that time. Na, not knowing na there could be something better for me pala. Kasi, nandun nga lang ako nandun.
Knowing what you know now, what would you change in your journey if you had to do it all over again?
I think, i-grab ko yung offer ng tito ko na mag-straight ako sa nursing. Kasi, nung nagpunta ako dito sa Australia, ang tinake ko is certificate and diploma. And then, he offered me na, tingnan na mag-nursing para diretso na. Ang nasa isip ko nun, malulubog ako sa utang kasi syempre bachelor's tuition fee versus the tuition fee ng certificate and diploma. Malayo. So, ang nasa isip ko nun is, mapag-ipunan ko yung tuition fee ko for bachelor's kesa utangin ko sa kanya. So, dinecline ko yung offer. So, ngayon, nagtagal ako mag-aral. 4 years ako nag-aral instead of just 2 years na sana lang na mag-aral. And then, nakuha ko na sana nang mas mabilis tong, like, temporary graduate visa, permanent residency, mas mabilis na sana.
Right. So, nabawasan ka siguro ng maybe 2 years?
2.5
years
yeah.
Kung nagdiretso ka ng bachelor's, then grad visa, PR. Okay.
Yeah. So, parang mabuyback ko sana yung time.
What would be your advice to someone who's wanting to go abroad or di kaya just basically going out of their comfort zone? Pero takot sila, meron silang fears, meron silang anxiety. Anong advice ang magbibigay mo sa kanila?
Just go for it, girl. Hindi, kasi hindi mo naman talaga malalaman kung anong nasa kabila ng bakod kung hindi mo susubukan. Yeah. So, like everything in life, meron mga consequences yan. So, kung magstay ka dyan, ang consequence niyan, hindi ka na mag-grow. Or what you know is up to there na lang. Well, if you try and explore, mas marami kang makikita, mas marami kang may experience, mas marami kang matututunan. Of course, kasama na dun yung mga failures, yung mga heartaches, yung masasaktan ka. Pero, sabi nga nila, 'di ba, kung hindi ka man magtagumpay, at least meron kang natutunan. It's still something that you gained.
So, sabi nga
So,
nila, sometimes you win,
Sometimes you learn, yeah. So, yun, try mo lang. Like, kung meron ka namang opportunity, you have the support system, meron kang financial na mag-help sa'yo, or ikaw mismo meron ka, give it a try. Kasi it's nice. It's a good feeling na may mapatunayan ka sa sarili mo, may ma-accomplish ka. And, yun nga, syempre, marami kang nakilala na bago. As compared to magstay ka lang kung saan ka, baka, syempre, yung mga nakilala mo dito sa abroad, you won't, like, have an encounter with them kung magstay ka lang dyan. So, yeah, I'm very, very thankful na ganun. So, kayo din, you can try.
Looking at where you were before and where you are now, what would you say is the biggest lesson?
So, biggest lesson is to go out and try it. Get out of your comfort zone, kung ano man yung nasa isip mo, kung ano man yung pinaplano mo for your future. It won't happen unless you go ahead and try it. So, I'm very thankful na nangyari yung falling apart namin ng uncle ko, that I had to resign, na nagbigay sa akin ng very, very good motivation na i-push na mag-get out of my comfort zone. So, that's one lesson na talagang for me or for anyone to grow, get out of your comfort zone.
Masasabi mo ba na nagtagumpay ka? You are successful dun sa mission mo na mapatunayan sa sarili mo?
Masasabi ko bang successful ako? I would say, capital Y-E-S. Yes. Yes naman. I think they are proud of me. I'm proud of myself. Everybody's proud. So,
Body is proud of
Body
you.
is proud of me. I think, yes. Looking back sa mga pinagdaanan ko every morning sa kitchen na yun. Oh my God. Yeah. I made it.
That is it, guys. We heard from Mary herself. The biggest lesson is really just go ahead and try it. Go out of your comfort zone. Kasi kung hindi mo gagawin, you'll never know.
You'll never know.
Thank you for watching this episode. I am your host, and this is the Pinoy Expat. See ya!